What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're here for a Madden 24 rebuild of the Philadelphia Eagles. It's time. I've seen it. I've seen it in the comments. I've seen it on social media. Every time I post anything, where's the Eagles rebuild? Where's the Eagles rebuild? I get it. No one that really does rebuilds is going to be rebuilding the Eagles anytime soon. They're the best team in the game. But as your resident Philadelphia Eagles fan, I'm going to give the people what they want here. We are going to get this one out of the way. I want to do it. I actually wanted to wait a little bit. I wanted to do this opening week because it would build the hype up just a little bit. I was like, screw it. We are doing the Eagles here today. And, talent not going to be a problem. Looking at this squad. Offense, absolutely stacked. Defense, absolutely stacked. But I think this has been an issue the last couple of years of Philly. It probably will be an issue here. The issue when you rebuild the Philadelphia Eagles, one, is you obviously have veterans right now. You have a very small window of having this stacked team together. It's only a matter of time until your Jason Kelsey's, your Lane Johnsons, your Fletcher Cox, your Brandon Grahams, James Bradbury, your Slays start to retire, start to regress. You're working against the clock there a little bit. Two, salary cap. We don't have the luxury of having Howie Roseman manage all the salary cap numbers for us. So I have no idea what we are getting into here with the Philadelphia Eagles as it relates to their salary cap. So it's probably going to be, I'm just going to assume, pretty difficult to sign players in free agency. Luckily, in Madden 24, free agency has been a little bit of a wet fart. There hasn't been that stacked, crazy free agency period that we saw maybe in Madden 23. And Madden 24 has been a lot more reliant on drafting well, which is, hey, I am not going to complain about that whatsoever. So taking a look at our Philadelphia Eagles squad, the offensive line does have a little bit of a question mark here at right guard. Cam Jurgens, formerly a center, is going to try to step up and replace Isaac Seumalo, who's now on the Pittsburgh Steelers. But for my money, it's the best offensive line in the NFL. Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Jason Kelsey's the best center in the NFL. Lane Johnson is the best tackle in the NFL. Yes, I said tackle, not just right tackle. For my money, there's not a better tackle in the NFL. What are you going to say, Trent Williams? Just go watch Trent Williams against the Eagles last year in the playoffs and tell me who the better tackle is. That's all I need to see. Elite competition against elite competition. Who stood up? Who blocked Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa? Who couldn't do that and ended up getting ejected? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying there. Great player. No problem being number 2 on the list. But the offensive line is outstanding. We have Dallas Goedert, who I'm actually surprised they gave him a superstar dev. I think he's one of the most underrated tight ends in the NFL. He's looking good. I guess you could say he is on the offensive skill position spot, he is the guy that's probably going to regress soonest. He's 28, but still a really, really nice player. At the skill position spots, we got Devonta Smith. We have A.J. Brown, who's an X factor. What a deal, man. I don't know. If I'm a Titan fan, I'm still losing sleep over the fact that they let us have A.J. Brown for a first-round pick. He is... I was worried. I'll say this. When we made the trade for A.J. Brown, there was a little bit of me that was like, man, he hasn't really been able to stay healthy for the Titans. And he was banged up a little bit last year, but I think he played every game. Well, they're not going to show us how many snaps he played. But I feel like he played almost every game last year. I don't think he missed a certain game. So, A.J. Brown, awesome. I think Devonta Smith, who already played some of the training camp games, I think Devonta Smith, one of the most underrated wide receivers in the NFL. And I don't think he's that underrated, especially if you play fantasy football and stuff like that. He goes second round, third round, whatever. So I'm not gonna hear say he's just getting slept on, but just ridiculous skill set. He is a player that if you don't watch Philadelphia play, you're probably oh yeah, that's their wide receiver 2 behind AJ. He is insane. He would be wide receiver 1 on 25 at least of the teams in the NFL right now, and I'm very happy we got him. Former Heisman Trophy winner. The running back room, well, we just got a lot of bodies here. Boston Scott, Kenny Gainwell, Rashad Penny, and DeAndre Swift. I'm going to, it sounds like right now this is how the depth chart kind of looks. It looks like Kenny Gainwell is RB1. I think we will go with DeAndre Swift for the time being. Yeah, I think Penny's kind of on the outskirts here a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if we use Penny a little bit as a returner in real life. He was a big-time returner at San Diego State. But we'll just play Boston Scott for the games against the Giants. But yeah, we'll go DeAndre Swift as RB1 here. Just because, come on, man. You got number 0. Let's rock him. Philly kid. Why not? Well, you ran out the offense. That man right there. Guys, sign a jersey personally for me. He says... He saw the video of me reacting to the Philadelphia Eagles drafting him. Said, I just didn't understand at that time. I didn't know what was going on at that time. And I said, you're right, sir. You are right. And here we are, man. best friends. We're pen pals pretty much to this day. I got this Kelly Green Eagles jersey, not stitched, because they don't sell stitched jerseys. Still hate that. Absolutely. I can need Jalen Hurts to send me a game jersey at this point. That's probably the only way I'm getting a freaking stitched jersey. But Jalen Hurts rolls in as an X Factor. The runner-up for the MVP last season. One of the best Super Bowl performances, even including the fact that, like, you could have a bad fumble loss and still have regarded as one of the best Super Bowl performances of all time. Just states how ridiculous Jalen Hurts was. I mean, he's awesome. I couldn't have been more... Actually, I'm not going to say I couldn't have been more wrong. Because I never doubted Jalen Hurts. I doubted his ceiling. I was like, all right, he looks like he could be like, you know, your dual threat, maybe a top 10 quarterback. You know, where's the arm talent at, though? Like, you know, is he... Most players don't really develop arm talent. He did! It was insane. Jalen Hurts last year, 2 years ago, like, couldn't hit the deep ball with any confidence whatsoever. He would bail out of the clean pockets, plays like me with Kyler Murray in the Cardinals franchise. Last year, entirely different player. It was absurd. I don't know where he's working out in the offseason. And I know it memes itself to death, like, oh, he put in the work, he grinded. I'm like, my God, Jalen Hurts looked like a different player last year. Yes, it definitely helps having A.J. Brown come into the mix. A.J. Brown is an absolute monster at wide receiver. But the steps and progression that I saw to Jalen Hurts last year, it's just like, for someone that does talk about sports, regardless of it being the Philadelphia Eagles or not, it's something that, like, you're going to have to apply to other players in the future now. Because now it's just like, that is the new learning curve. Before, it was like the Josh Allen development, where Josh Allen kind of sucked and then he blew off a little bit. Now it's Jalen Hurts. Now it's, you know, he has added himself to the list of, like, from now on, the next quarterback that you're not sure about. Let's say it's a Justin Fields that just maybe doesn't take the next step. And then you can be like, well, he still could be Jalen Hurts. You know, maybe just give him, you know, a big-time A.J. Brown. I don't know if DJ Moore is going to be that guy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, Jalen Hurts has earned the right to become the new measuring stick of quarterback development in a single offseason, because he was absolutely incredible. Defense, also very good. The defensive line, we have BG and Josh Sweat as our premier passers on the D-line, but you also really do need to throw in Haason Reddick into the mix, who's one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. For my money, he's closer to top 5 than he is top 10. He's ridiculous. And I think, much like Jalen Hurts, I think Haason Reddick's one of those guys, like, let's see the consistency for the respect to get that top 5-ish nod. And I think if he pops off again this year, he's going to be undeniable. Last year, he was absurd. He was a top 5 edge rusher in the league last season. But overall, you're gonna, you know, if he can do it again, if he can put up 15, 16, 17 sacks, if he could show up in the playoffs like he did last year, you know, I think he's going to be undeniable at that point. Defensive tackle, we have Fletcher Cox coming back for probably like a 1-year deal. We got Jordan Davis there with the superstar dev, and just somehow the NFL allowed the Philadelphia Eagles to get the best defensive player, maybe the best player overall in the draft last year, fell to us at 9. So, yeah, pretty blessed. Pretty blessed. I've never stepped foot at church, but I'm blessed. I am very blessed here today to say that the Philadelphia Eagles are able to add Jalen Carter for this rebuild, not even just real life. We got Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, who is one of the freakiest players we've seen in a minute. Get this guy a face scan. 93 speed, 95 acceleration. I cannot wait. I got to find a way to get this guy on pink slips. Whenever we do pink slips, I have an idea, by the way. A little nugget for those of you that are still watching me ramble on the introduction of my Eagles. I do have the concept for pink slips. It's just more so I want to let the Cardinals breathe a little bit before we have 2 franchises on the go. We got some guys that we definitely need on this squad. Middle linebacker, we get Kobe Dean here. I mean, primarily, like, that's the only thing that's going to be tough. Is, like, I don't know how the hell I'm lining up this team. Because, like, in reality, Philly, you know, we play a 4-3. So, like, in reality, we're probably going to think about the future. And we're going to want Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter being our starters. And then you mix in Fletcher Cox. Pass rushers, you're going to want Josh Sweat and Haason Reddick. So at linebacker, like, do we play Nolan Smith as like a hybrid? Does he make it as like a sub linebacker, or how are we getting him on the field? I don't quite know. Nakobe Dean's got to step up. Yeah, he's a really, really nice player. No idea though what we're getting. He looked pretty good in the preseason, but big shoes to fill. We're just all assuming that Nakobe Dean, who was incredible at the University of Georgia, is just going to be able to carry that on here at the next level. Hopefully he does. Now looking at the secondary. we have a Sidney Brown, another rookie with a dev trade. The Canadian. I definitely want to get him on the field. I'm going to be honest. This will be the one big bias switch. Edmonds is solid. Maybe he'll be our third safety. Could get on the field. But as it stands right now, we definitely need Brown as a starter. We got to go with the high upside. We got Reed Blankenship. Don't call him Ed Reed Blankenship. He will be our starter at free safety. We got Slay, Bradbury, and Avonte Maddox in the slot in the secondary. We also have Keely Ringo as like our developmental corner. Could and ideally, hopefully he gets to a point in his development that he can be a successor for James Bradbury, Darius Slay. I don't know where Bradbury and Slay are going to be, say year 4, year 5 of this rebuild. But top to bottom, man, and once we can kind of figure out what we like about this linebacking core, I think this team, I know. I don't know how many Super Bowls we can win. I don't know. I've seen in the sim, Philly is a popular team to be making the Super Bowl. I want to say 2 is my goal here today. But just to keep it simple, we got to get that first one. We got to get that check mark on this rebuild. So let's get into the Philadelphia Eagles Madden 24 rebuild. All right, we got Jalen Carter. And of all the rookie class, one guy I want to work out here, definitely Jalen. Let's see how the hype is. Let's see how the kid feels here. Plus, you're not going to get a harder drill. You're going against the Eagles. Pretty much every spot here is going to be a battle. Maybe against Jurgens up here. Get out of the way! We do the dev traits. And I will say it's a bummer about Jalen Carter's dev trait. There is a little part of me that wants to play the weekly trainings every week, keep getting gold medals for him, and seeing if we can correct what I think is an incorrect dev trait for Mr. Jalen Carter. But, I don't know. I feel like it's one of those, like, it is what it is. We'll embrace it. We'll try our best. We'll let him start this year. See if we can get him maybe Defensive Rookie of the Year conversation. And maybe that will help out the dev trait situation. But first things first, let's get the gold medal here. What we said, this is one of the most frustrating drills. If you don't get it, like right here, it's just like the little times you miss the bubbles. And then sometimes you'll get pushed into like the obstacles here. And they'll just like knock you out of the drill. And you're like, okay, yeah, I didn't want the gold medal anyways. That's fine. Let's go. Let's finish strong. 4 seconds. Get off your blocks. Fuck it! If I didn't cut half the things I had to from me failing to get gold in the training camp, my channel will get demonetized so fast. The most frustrating thing I might have ever experienced in my life. I know it's like something like if you played MUT and you did those like challenges, Ultimate Team and all that stuff, you're used to just getting cheese like that and then having to restart. I don't have the patience for that. I am a grown man child when it comes to just what you just saw. Those things happen all the time in Madden 24 training, and it just sets me off. Sets me off. Let's get into year 1. We had a pretty good start. Week 1, 42-35. Maybe not the defensive showing that we wanted to see, but we get a breakout scenario. Could be for Nakobe Dean, could be for not. Jalen Hurts, 296. Yeah, it's going to be Nakobe. 4 total touchdowns for Hurts, Nakobe Dean, 13 tackles, and an interception. So what I did do on the back end of the defense, and this is, I honestly could see them doing this. I just, probably not. This is most likely something I'm getting away with because it's Madden, and it's Madden. But I did put Nolan Smith here at sub linebacker. In real life, it's probably going to be Nakobe Dean and Jack Cunningham. But as it stands right now, we are a little heavy on pass rushers. And Nolan Smith does have, he's not a cover guy. But I think from like, Philly's going to utilize him as like a sideline to sideline, like run defender. If that's your case, as long as he's not getting picked on in coverage, which, you know, he might be, but that's what Nakobe Dean's out there. Nakobe Dean is the cover linebacker. Nolan Smith is going to be our see-ball, get-ball linebacker for the time being. He's going to be a run defender. And then whenever happens with BG, then we can definitely, you know, kick someone down there to the defensive line to a more natural position. But you kind of just got to see if it works. Hopefully it continues to work. And it already looks like it worked out pretty well because week 1, his partner in crime got Defensive Player of the Week and an opportunity here to break out. Definitely want to get Nakobe Dean off the normal dev. I'm not going to say he should have started and play last year. But understanding his potential, you know, he's a dev trait player for sure. Let's see if we can get here. Week 2 against the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings coming home to the link. Vikings do not like playing the Eagles last couple years. Needs to be said, but Madden could be an entirely different beast. Kirko Cousins Could cook us, but I want to see a win, which we did. I want to see a breakout for Nakobe Dean, which wet fart sound. Did not get it. So we're at the midway point of year number 1. I'm a little annoyed because of our 3 losses, 2 have been to the Commanders. They swept us, and we lost to Dallas. So we're kind of a team right now. It's like we're beating the teams we're supposed to beat. We're losing to the teams that are good. Aren't like, you know, we're losing to teams that are playoff contenders. Maybe that's gassing up the Commanders just a little too much there. Spend some upgrades here. Actually, no, we'll do that in a second. You know, let's see how they're spending the upgrades. We're at the midway point. Let's look at the contracts. What kind of salary cap are we working with? I'm expecting this to be like a negative number immediately, and we're going to lose the entire class. We got $48 million. Okay. Well, we're going to pick up the 5th-year option, Devonta Smith. BG, legend. Please, just retire so it's not that awkward because I cannot pay you. We need to get other people on the field. Point blank period. It's kind of what it is. Kelsey, on the other hand, you're probably going to retire. But in the case that you don't, definitely want you to stay in the building. We do like Quez Watkins around these parts. You'll take that, sure. Keep Quez. I can definitely keep Quez here for a wide receiver 3 role. And DeAndre Swift, I can only imagine what his stats are looking like, so I'm going to give him a 4-year contract extension. I want you to be the running back of our rebuild, sir. Thank you for also buying in. Contracts, salary looking better than expected. Can we beat the Chiefs, who are 5-4 in their own right? Not a great start, but this is a rematch of the Super Bowl, and we do it. Not only do we do it, we roll into our Week 12 game against Buffalo with a couple breakups. 41-35. We only do shootouts here. Mahomes, 4 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts, 4 touchdowns in the day, but the win going with the ladder and a little bit of a revenge game. I'm sure we will see them down the line eventually. But we get a breakup for Jalen Hurts. He's already an X Factor, so this would just yield a big-time XP boost, which, hey, we'll take it. Right now, honestly, what will be good, I don't know if I should be showing you, but we've had 2 upgrades for Jalen Hurts already, and both upgrades, we've got +1 throw power in those upgrades. He's went from 86 to an 88, which is awesome. So anytime we get more XP to keep getting that throw power, the closer we can get that to 90, the better it's going to be. Now we have DeAndre Swift with a potential breakout. He's on a star day making an attempt to go up to a superstar. We just signed into a long-term contract extension, so that would be awesome to get him up to a superstar dev here. Against these 6-5 Buffalo Bills, man, Philly does have a very tough schedule this year. Will say I'm a little nervous as an Eagle fan. But we do get the dub, 35-14. Love that. Another player of the week performance. I mean, honestly, hopefully for Jalen Hurts. I don't know what kind of XP it is for Jalen Hurts. 4 touchdowns, 240 yards. I don't know if we had enough yards. I don't know if we'll ever have enough yards. I don't think Jalen Hurts is ever going to be top 10 passing yards in a season. We might as well just keep it here, man. Look at these games. We got the Niners and then the Cowboys. Let's see what we can do. Another huge day for Jalen. He hit it. He absolutely hit the breakout. We get 15,000 XP. Not too often. That means if he would have been in superstar trying to get X, we would have got X Factor in the sim with Jalen Hurts. Now, this is for DeAndre Swift, who unfortunately, because we threw the football so much, was not able to hit on his dev trait scenario, but I want him to use that as motivation here. Week 13 against the 49ers. 7-4 49ers. They got Brock Purdy out there. They got Javon Hargrave because they want to beat us. They can't beat us. 30-24. Another player of the week performance for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to guess someone on the defense. No, it's just Jalen Hurts. 4 touchdowns again. He must be MVP frontrunner right now. And we got Dallas here. We also have a breakout defensive back. I don't know who this could be. Reed Blank should be cool. He's on normal dev. Is the Canadian, the rookie, Sidney Brown, who does have a hidden dev. I think we could probably assume it's a star dev. Hold the Cowboys just 150 passing yards. Good luck. This is probably going to have to go on to the box score stat line here for Sidney Brown against Dallas. But we are looking to avoid getting swept by the Dallas Cowboys. They beat us in the first game. Second game, we just keep dropping 30 bombs. 35-21. We get our 10th win of the season. Hottest team in the NFL. Unfortunately, outside of Jalen Hurts, though, not having the best roles with dev trait breakouts. Off of that, we have 3 skill points here for Jalen Hurts. And given the fact that we kind of we earned that in season, let's go right into field general. Let's get away from, he's already a great scrambler. Let's work on the areas he might not be as great at. And we'll bring him up to a 93 overall and counting. Did not get a throw power increase, which again, I think that's the next thing, man. We want to get that into the 90s for the throw power. We can work with a 90. But, man, he is looking great. All right, pump it into strong arm quarterback. We get the throw power. Maybe we're going to be onto something. Maybe that's just where we spend it from now on. One away from our goal. One thing that pisses me off, current OC, already committed to not getting the throw power, like all the quarterback boosts, which, I think I'm going to fire my OC because that's not how I want this rebuild to go. Did slip up week 18. The Giants beat us. I don't want to. I can't even phrase this as we were resting our starters because that loss, I think, let's double check. That might have cost us first seed. Did. We would have won that game. We would have been the 1 seed. It was the Falcons, dude. They were hot. All right, so we're going to run the gauntlet here. We start in the wildcard round against the Green Bay Packers. One thing that is undeniable is Jalen Hurts was incredible this season. Might not have had many touchdowns as the amazing S-tier Dak Prescott or Patrick Mahomes, but he did play really, really, really well. So I'm very happy with that. Plus, he's probably going to have better rushing numbers and all those stuff. Let's take a little looky poo. I don't know how many times. Five-time Offensive Player of the Week, Jalen Hurts. 4,500 yards, which is definitely more passing yards than I expected, for sure. 32 touchdowns. I was thinking 28 to 34 range for Jalen because I knew he was going to get his in terms of a scrambler. So, like, everything outside the yards is kind of like where I thought it was going to be. Rushing, very good. I mean, just look at this. 12 touchdowns, Penny. Imagine if those weren't vultured. We could have put those somewhere else. Darius Swift, 1,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, 826 on the ground, 11 touchdowns for Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts goes for well over 5,000 yards and 43 total touchdowns on the season. Ridiculous. 86 catches, 1,200 yards, 11 tutties for A.J. Brown. He got his. 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns for Devonta Smith. He got his. 7-5 for Quez, 7-3 for Goddard. Maybe a little bit more Dallas Goddard. Could have been perfect. I think if we could have got Dallas close to 900 yards, a couple more touchdowns, I wouldn't say this was literally a perfect year for sim offense, but very, very happy with all the numbers across the board. Jacoby Dean, 143 tackles, 3 TFLs, 3 picks. Over 100 tackles for Nolan Smith, thriving in his linebacker hybrid role. 96 tackles for the rookie Sidney Brown to go with 2 interceptions. We got, sacks are not great. What happened here, fellas? 7 sacks for the rookie Jalen Carter. Like, those are great D-tackle numbers. Don't get it twisted whatsoever, but that is not good pass rush numbers. Josh Sweat had half a sack, and we had 5 sacks for Haason Reddick. Okay. Slade of the team with 4 interceptions. At least there's something we can work on. Everything else was so good. Pass rush sucked, so we got to figure that out in this reel. Jalen Hurts does win the MVP, beating out the S-tier ridiculous Dak Prescott. You love seeing it. That is a feather in the cap. He also gets Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player goes to Aaron Donald. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Bijan. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to our boy, Jalen Carter, who deserves to be a superstar dev. Hopefully he gets that role there with Defensive Rookie of the Year. Quarterback goes to Jalen Hurts. DeAndre Swift, 3rd place for running back. We have A.J. Brown and Devontae 3 and 4, so both top 5 at the wide receiver spot. Landon Dickerson was the highest graded Eagles offensive lineman this year. Okay. Slay coming in just outside the top 5 for defensive back. Jake Elliott, 3rd for kicker. So we had, outside of the sacks, perfect year 1. Perfect start to a Madden 24 Philadelphia Eagles rebuild. Only way it gets better, man, playoff run. I don't necessarily say we have to win a Super Bowl this year, but we do have a lot of vets on the roster. This is certainly a Super Bowl window. And we handle business against Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers, 41-35. We're Jacoby Dean, Defensive Player of the Week, and Jalen Hurts reminds everyone why he is the MVP. Almost 400, over 400 total yards, 5 touchdowns. Thank you for making Jalen Hurts great in sim, Madden. As much as you have Dak, unrealistically, you have Jalen Hurts, MVP candidate, playing like an MVP. Look at the playoff bracket here. I do want to see what those Falcons are made of, but the Vikings dumbed down. Just dumped it on the Dallas Cowboys there. 34-10. Okay, Niners lost. Like, I thought there was a chance that we'd see the Niners in the 2nd round. Okay. Other side, Kansas City didn't even make the playoffs. Bengals are very good in Madden. If you haven't got your hands on Madden 24 yet, Cincy is one of the teams for sure. But I feel good, man. I feel good about anybody right now. If you're telling me the Atlanta Falcons, Desmond Ridder is the best that we had to deal with to go on and try to compete for a Super Bowl, I like our chances right now. But we have the Minnesota Vikings here. Kirko Cousins. It's low scoring. They did a pretty good job containing Jalen Hurts. 17-14. But we are now here in the NFC Championship game against this Atlanta Falcon. The #1 offense for the Philadelphia Eagles. Defense not, I mean, again, just very shocking with how my defense played this year. I do think there could be something to the scheme, but I also don't know because that's the playbook. We have like the Philadelphia Eagles playbook, but our scheme is a Tampa 2. So like I wonder if we just go like 4-3, like a base 4-3. Is that going to help? Is that the missing link? Is that where we're not necessarily lining up right now in the defense? Of course, you always want to tinker right before the NFC Championship game. That's always when you're like, you know what? I think our team could be a little bit better. I mean, if we lose this one, it's going to be very tough to swallow because there's not an area that the Atlanta Falcons are better than us. There's not one single facet that they are a better team, and we lost. So, yeah. What? How'd this happen? How do we let the Falcons go for 41 points? It went to overtime. See, there's just no way. There's just no way. Desmond Ridder sucks. Desmond Ridder is one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the NFC. All right. It wouldn't have been fun anyway if we won the Super Bowl 5 years in a row. First piece of business in the offseason, firing the OC. Sorry, not personal. You just went down the wrong tree there. So we are going to look to hire, well, really, I just need to get someone. We'll get Garrett Pratt. Shane Steichen took him, so it's easy to assume that this is a guy that was already at one point on the Eagles staff. But he does not have the throw power boost. Not what we're looking for. This is the interview process right now. Power running. Outside running. What do we need here? What did this guy have? Those are wells. Vertical threat. That is what we need. We need a offensive coordinator that has vertical threat. This guy, Roger Hughes, formerly of the Commanders. Do you have the option where I can improve Jalen Hurts' throw power? Yes, you do. You're hired. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. We already got Jalen Hurts playing like an MVP. We bring in a freaking QB guru who brought some special water from Mexico that bumped his throw power up. So, the Falcons went on to win the Super Bowl. We gotta look at retirements. We gotta look at dev traits. At least we lost the Super Bowl champion, I guess. But for our Philadelphia Eagles, wow, BG did not retire. Jason Kelce did, which sucks. But Brandon Graham is still here, which means I'm gonna have to give him a sympathy contract because he's right there. He's always watching. He's always watching, even though I think he blocked me on Twitter. It's fine. Things were said. Things were said is what it is. Looking at our roster, what do we got for depth traits? I'd say on the offense, maybe a little worried A.J. Brown lost his X factor. Other than that, I think we're pretty good. A.J. Brown keeps his X factor. No depth trait for DeAndre Swift, but Devonta Smith goes from star to superstar. So at least there is a progression on the offensive side, but a massive loss with Jason Kelce retiring, which will... You know, when we go to the draft, we have a couple options here. We could kick Cam Jurgens back into center and then go Tyler Steen and put him at guard. I feel like that's what I'm going to do right now just because that would be our best combo of the offensive line before the draft. Don't think we're going to be aggressive in free agency, but never know. There could be a finder, but we'll kick Jurgens back into center. That is where he was drafted. He was drafted to be Jason Kelce's successor. Then we have Tyler Steen, who has looked kind of impressive for a rookie. One of those just versatile, like he's your classic 6 lineman. Can play every position. He's probably going to be a swing tackle for the Eagles. But they have also, kind of put him in the right guard competition spot. So that's kind of what we'll go with right now. And on the defensive side, Reddick lost his... I mean, we had nothing from our pass rush this year. So not surprised one bit that we lost the dev trait there. Nakobe Dean goes from normal up to star, which is nice. None of our corners lost their dev. Jalen Carter winning defensive rookie of the year, gets the jump up to the rightful superstar dev that he should have had all along. He was our leading pass rusher, leading sack getter this season. So that's pretty huge for him. And I think what we are going to do now is hopefully figure out the pass rush issue, because it cannot be what it was last year. So looking at our free agents, first things first, we are going to pick up the 5th-year option on Devonta Smith's contract. Now we got to kind of figure out the free agency situation here. We're going to lose a lot of depth, but right now the only guy I want to prioritize is BG. All Brandon Graham. He wants to come back. Like, just because we're not going to spend that money elsewhere, he's not going to start. I think I know what I'm going to. We're going to have to move some pieces around on the defensive side, but we'll get BG here to make sure he retires as a Philadelphia Eagle. I'll say one thing that's annoying is I'm like kind of just I'm tinkering with the roster. Where's Eli Ricks? Like the star of the Eagles pre. We got like Josh Jobe here, but no Eli Ricks. Just kind of a bummer. So here's what we did. We have Nolan Smith. We're going to keep him as like that pass rush kind of linebacker guy. I kicked Milton Williams into defensive end depth because that's kind of more what his role is. And we're going to have Haason Reddick down on the defensive line. Hopefully that will solve our sack issues. For free agency, there's interesting names here. Patrick Crean, Devin White, all these guys. But I think with how our roster is constructed right now, it's probably still going to be in our best interest to go with like a Dean Nolan Smith linebacking duo. So I feel like we could probably just find like linebacking depth in the draft and roll this salary cap over to next season. We had to sit and wait for pick 30 in the first round. And I did my focus scout. We did corners, was our national scout. And I did interior offensive line just to see what the draft class had. The best of the guards and our centers. We had Philip Huffman, 2nd, 3rd rounder. Still could be available in the next round. Double B and an A. Combine, elite acceleration, elite agility, elite jumping. He looks pretty good, but this is a guy that maybe I want to try to be aggressive and trade up in the 2nd round to select center class. Look pretty butt cheeks, to be honest with you. I did scout a tackle here, Brock Hedgecock. Great name. Double A with the B run block, C pass block, but you have the best grades and the things I care the least about. Now he does have elite strength, looks pretty good, but he's Georgia too. I am tempted. But I say all that knowing that we still could use some corner help, and we scouted this guy. Looks pretty good. DeMarcus Joseph, top 5 talent, 3 Bs and an A. Not anything special that we did to find him. He's 20 years old as well, which looks really good. The physicals, elite acceleration, elite jumping, great speed. I could see him for sure being a ball. We gotta get this guy. We gotta get this guy, and we'll try to move up in the 2nd round if need be. Please have a dev trade. He does. He looks awesome. Let's go. Picked up the phone, called our old buddy Doug Peterson. Said, what do you want for the 7th pick in the 2nd round? I was like, all right, well, give us your we have 2 2nd round picks. So we gave him our better 2nd round pick this year, our 4th round pick this year, and our 3rd and 4th round next year. They drove a hard bargain. Usually it's actually not that difficult to get 2nd round picks, but I am playing with hard trade on. But with that, and I mean, now it goes into like, who do we draft? Do we draft that tackle? Do we draft that guard? They're both still on the board. We have Huffman there. Like, is there a chance they're both still available? I feel like we go tackle and then hope the guard's still there. We're going to go Hedgecock, who could be our Lane Johnson replacement. Luckily, he rolls the depth trade. That is huge for making this trade. And let's hope to God that that guard falls to us at, I don't even know what it is. It's 30, 28, 29 of the 2nd round. We are so close. He is still on the board. 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 Come on. One more pick. Yes. The guard falls to us. We're going to be able to have some competition right away. Tyler Steen for that right guard spot. Oh, I did not think he was still going to be there. Huffman. Now, please don't let me down. Don't just be a normal dev, like a normal 71. Also have a dev trait so we can get out of this with 3 hidden dev players. And we do. I have a right outside linebacker on the roster. I was like, all right, look at this Jason Barton guy. He is AB. I mean, we might even need to get 2. But I was like, what is this? UDFA, he's a speed rusher, but he has A-zone B tackle. He's very undersized, but elite acceleration, change of direction, speed. What does this look like? And why is that UDFA? Okay. For the draft, if you're an Eagle fan, you know we need a punter. No, not a crazy good punter in terms of accuracy. A, awareness is good. C, kick accuracy, not the best, but he is rolling with elite kick power. So we will pull the trigger on Harden 90. What a leg. Our first Madden 24 Philadelphia Eagles franchise draft in the books, and I'm loving it. 73 punter. I would have gambled and drafted this athlete 10 times out of 10. 64, not the best. Would have been nice if we had a dev trait, but is what it is. Huffman, 73 hidden dev. Hedgecock, 73 hidden dev. So we have someone in Huffman that likely will be able to get the right guard spot. We're actually going to slide him there to right guard right now. He's going to compete with Tyler Steen, but he has the dev trait, so that kind of gives him the inside track, the advantage over Steen, who has the normal dev. And we will keep Cam Jurgens at center for the time being. We got Hedgecock here, who has a dev trait. He's going to be a Georgia Bulldog. Had to get a Bulldog. It's kind of the quota right now. But that is our Lane Johnson replacement. Never know. Lane Johnson probably retires soonish. So he's going to be there. Hopefully he doesn't lose his dev. But my God, dude. Top 5 true talent corner falling to us. Late first round. DeMarcus Joseph, 79 in dev. He's 20 years old. With our boost, 96 speed, 95 acceleration, 93 jumping, 81 man, 76 zone. This guy, is he the best player in the draft? Did they just is this Jalen Carter all over again? I'm going to say no, because there was a corner that was projected higher that did look pretty, yeah, Williamson did look pretty crazy, but man, the corner depth, 76, 78, 79, and an 83. Joe Williamson out of the prolific Wyoming. Not as good an athlete as our guy, but he looks real. Let's look at the depth. Just see, is he generational? Do the Bears get someone they can pair with Jalen Johnson? Is that a problem? Is this something that we need to be worried about going forward in the NFC? And he is an absolute stud. Oh, I did it! Just mini game, just screwing around, doing this regular one. I did one for Jalen Hurts. Got the X Factor getting gold on Jalen Carter. I have not seen him be able to hit that in training camp yet, but our boy Jalen Carter dominated the trenches drill, and now needing to step up. Wow, dude. Let's get a look at this. Okay, now you know. Now you know. There's going to be just so many people say, oh, C4, that's cheesy. You shouldn't be doing those trainings. Fuck you. It's like the new feature in the game. I'm not just ignoring the new feature in the game because sometimes, twice in 2 series that I've done, I've got dev trade increases. This is the rare X Factor Jalen freaking Carter. Let's go. Under year 2 for the Philadelphia Eagles. And before we even do a whole lot of anything, we have a trade off here for Milton Williams. He's not on the trade block. Someone is reaching out. Least we can do is pick up the phone, see what they want. Yeah, no, we're good. I mean, it would be very Eagle-esque to try to make a trade right now. But, you know, is there someone that's worth trading? Is there someone worth putting on our Howie Roseman hat and being like, yeah, like, is there a Budda Baker? Can we make a move for a Budda Baker right now? We don't need a quarterback. Yeah, Ramondre's don't need a running back. Don't need a wide receiver. Don't need tight end. Offensive line, we are in a good spot. Defensively, however, we could always look to maybe make a splash move if one presents itself. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Just for poops and giggles here, what would it cost us to get, just because we want C4, I wish you would have traded for Budda Baker, because I mean, that's a big name right now. Jonathan Taylor also linked with the Eagles, but Budda Baker's one. What do they want? What would it cost for me to get Budda Baker? And if it's something that's reasonable, it would cost me a first. He's already down to star dev. It would cost me my first next year, 2 years, 2 first. That's actually not bad. Why not? Why not? Fuck it. Why not? Rebuilds are all about having a little bit of fun here. These aren't realistic rebuilds. They're not branded that. So what is, even if it is a realistic rebuild, man, what is on brand for Howie Roseman and the Eagles to make a trade? So as much as we like Ed Reed, Blankenship, I'm going to move Budda Baker to free safety so we're not stepping on the toes of Sidney Brown, who had a great rookie season. And, you know, you add that. with the fact, I mean, 30 is an ugly number, but you're going to rock 30. We're not giving you 20 or something like that. But you pair that with the fact that we didn't lose much outside of, obviously, no disrespect to Jason Kelsey, but we lost Kelsey. But outside of that, didn't lose much. And we also had the second best player in the NFL draft in Marcus Joseph, ready, willing, and able whenever one of our corners takes a step back, or if we get a hit with like a surprise Slay retirement or something like that. So like we are looking good, and we need to find a way to avenge a loss to the Atlanta Falcons. And we're actually going to keep it here right now because that is our week 1 game. Atlanta-Philly rematch of the NFC Championship. Can we get this season? The revenge tour. Back-to-back. Should have been Super Bowl type things for Philadelphia. And at least we were able to exercise some demons, starting the year outright, beating the Falcons 31-28. A pretty good start, midway point of year 2, but it is a very competitive NFC East with the Cowboys having a game in hand, but that is the tiebreaker at 6-2. We're 5-2. Giants 5-3. Let's look at some contracts. I'm going to be very happy that we didn't spend in free agency, but also there's a reason why the Cardinals felt pretty good trading us Budda Baker. He is in a contract year. So we're going to have to probably make some tough decisions here. And I'm not over the moon that a lot of our guys aren't really interested. So we're going to start off front with Landon Dickerson. See if we can get him on a 4-year, $55 million, get him locked in. All right, first piece of business done. We can't make the Budda Baker trade without trying to keep Budda Baker. He's not happy with that offer. We have Josh Sweat, who is interested, and we get him locked in. Now, here's where things get a little dicey. Haason Reddick has no interest in re-signing here. In terms of guys that we need to resign, it really does come down. Haason Reddick, we're going to pick up the 5th-year option on Jordan Davis. Haason Reddick, Devonta Maddox. We'll get Budda Baker across the line. But if we let Haason Reddick go, that means we're going to be able to put Nolan Smith down at defensive end. We have cover. We have a cover in place. Can we even, we don't even have enough. Don't have, that could be something maybe we come back to at the end of the season. I mean, Avante, that's a reasonable contract. Just having some corner depth there. More so, we did just draft that corner, but that guy's more of an outside corner, and Devonta Maddox is our slot. So we will come back to the table with Budda Baker, and then it's going to be kind of a wait and see with Haason Reddick at the end of the season. About $500,000 more on contract and bonus, and we get Budda Baker across the line. We'll say this. With Haason Reddick, that's him. That is him. That is not anything. That is not us with our salary cap management. That is not because we made a Budda Baker trade that we can't pay him. There is very little re-interest right now, as it stands, for Haason Reddick to re-sign with the team. So if that is the case, I am not really over the moon about him being like a main starter for us right now, if I'm going to be honest with you. So what I'm going to do is we are going to go in here to the defensive ends. He's still play. He's still going to start at defensive end. But we are going to make one of our, at least our sub-package rusher. We're going to put that Nolan Smith. We're going to have Nolan Smith get after the quarterback at the back end of this season. I'll tell you right now, I feel like my depth chart got reset, which I'm not very happy about. Yeah. All right. We'll do that. So the bad news is back-to-back years, we lose week 18. This one, very tough matchup against the Bengals, but we go 13-4, win the NFC East, and we are the 1 seed. And our defense doesn't suck this year, at least as far as overall defense. Number 1 offense in the NFL, number 6 defense in the NFL. A couple quick upgrades here. Anyone juicy? Anyone fun? Ooh, Mr. X Factor. And I'm just going right into power rusher. We saw what Jalen Carter can bring to the defense. He's more of an interior pass rusher, so we're not going to worry about the scheme fit. It's Jalen Carter's job to be the pass rusher with Jordan Davis being the run stuffer. They're the complement, the yin to the yang. We got Nolan Smith, who got to finish the year as a pass rusher, which now he's a 79 pass rusher, and obviously, unless we can come to terms with the contract situation, I'm already assuming right now Haason Reddick has 17 sacks, and it's like, oh, great, now we got to figure that out. But that is a good problem to have when you have too much talent and you got to find a way to get your best players on the defense. As far as passing and stats are concerned, well, we see Devonta Smith made top 3 receivers there. 89 catches, 1,300 yards, 12 tutties. Nothing else. Actually, you can't see. We see Nakobe Dean, but webcam's blocking it. 3rd leading tackler in the NFL. Jalen Hurts did win. I think only won like 2 Player of the Weeks. So I don't necessarily know. I mean, the yards definitely down from when they were a year ago. 3,700 yards, 30 touchdowns and 3 picks is really good. He also, good year, DeAndre Swift, 100 yards, 15 touchdowns, 7 and 11 for Jalen Hurts. So he goes for 3,400 yards, 41 touchdowns, 42 touchdowns last year. Got him the MVP. Devonta Smith was great. A.J. Brown, not so good on the yards. Touchdowns, very happy with it. 8 and 12 is not a bad season, but, you know, yards were down. Yards were down. Goddard, a little bit of a disappointing season. Defensively, Nakobe Dean and Sidney Brown, leading tacklers. We got 8.5 sacks, Josh Sweat, 6 from Jalen Carter, 5.5 from Haason Reddick. So, definitely in this world, I think Haason Reddick's obviously a lot better in real life than he is in Madden for us right now. We're probably going to let Haason Reddick walk. Slay led team with 4 interceptions. Yearly awards, MVP goes to Lamar Jackson. Beats out Jalen Hurts. Still great company for Jalen Hurts to be. He's Offensive Player of the Year. Micah Parsons wins Defensive Player of the Year. See, look, it's not anti-Cowboy. Micah Parsons winning Defensive Player of the Year makes sense. He's a freak of nature. Get this guy out of here. I didn't even believe CeeDee Lamb getting Offensive Player of the Year nods over Dak. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Looking at the award winners. For continuing, Quarterback of the Year goes to Jalen Hurts. And that is all we had. Jake Elliott, runner-up for Kicker of the Year. But with our regular season success here in year 2, we're able to kick our feet up and await our opponent out of the wild card rounds. Could be Dallas. That'd be a fun matchup, huh? Even better, some may say. It is the New York Giants divisional battle. Not only is it a divisional battle, it's like that scary, like that Giants team that shouldn't make the playoffs. Like, those are the ones you got to worry about. They did not have a particularly good offense overall, but Saquon Barkley ran the damn thing, and their defense, one of the best defenses in the NFL. So sure, it's going to be a difficult puzzle for Jalen Hurts to solve, but right now he is the best player in this world, not named Patrick Mahomes. And we handle business, but we're going to have to run through the NFC East to get through the Super Bowl. And Dallas, again, it's like we're looking at the exact same thing. They are pretty much the Giants, what we just handled. This could be setting up for quite the gauntlet. If we have to run through Dallas, I mean, I don't have the best of luck playing Dallas in the playoffs. I remember I still get shivers about that Carolina Panthers rebuild, where like every time we played Dallas, Dak went for like 7 touchdowns. We beat him. We beat him. Yes, the good guys win. The good guys. Yes. Dak still gets his because it's stupid, but Jalen Carter, Defensive Player of the Week, 6 tackles, 2 sacks. And what? The Texans. We're playing the Texans in the Super Bowl. All right. They're definitely could be viewed as ahead of schedule, to say the least. Year 2 of the C.J. Stroud era. D'Amico Ryans, Mufasa, got them guys playing. And it is a matchup where I don't think I can defend or even come up with a reason why we're not winning this Super Bowl. We are playing a team that is so far ahead of schedule. We're in Dallas' stadium, so extra motivation to see midnight green and black confetti fall in Dallas' stadium here. Second Super Bowl in 3 years for the Philadelphia Eagles. And we start off by letting Houston get the lead. All right, we're just giving them a shot here. It's like when you're doing a drag race, when you're doing pink slips, right? You give them a car length. That's what we did. We gave them 1 car length here to make them feel like they had a shot. And their defense is playing well, holding us at 10. We do get a touchdown to open the second half, but Houston responds right away. We are now late 4th, low-scoring game, and we just, there's garbage time score. We weren't ever really worried there in the second half. And, I wish I could sit here and say this is going to be an epic matchup. We are playing the freaking Texans year 2 in the Super Bowl. Somehow, some way, they went on a Cinderella run, and they ran into the absolute juggernaut. We make amends. We shouldn't have lost to the Atlanta Falcons last year. This should have been our 3rd Super Bowl in 3 years. This likely should have been our 3rd Super Bowl, or 2nd Super Bowl win of the video. But we did get it here in year 2. Hopefully we don't have too many guys that want to retire on top. Again, we're very worried about Lane Johnson. That's why we drafted that tackle. And we're going to have some moving pieces on the defense, likely Haason Reddick's last season here in Philadelphia. But I think as long as we have 1, we're going to be good. We have 3 more years. We got our first Super Bowl. My goal was 2 starting today. 3 more years, 1 more Super Bowl. Definitely attainable. And for the MVP, looking at the stats here, Jalen Hurts. 2 touchdowns, no picks for Jalen Hurts. I mean, you're probably honestly going to give that to Devonta Smith. Haason Reddick gets a sack in his final game. Nolan Smith also his successor. We'll give it to Devonta, MVP. Okay, so we did get hit with retirements. Not the one we were preparing for. Fletcher Cox, legend. Thanks for everything. We have a successor in place. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. Brandon Graham retired. Have a successor in place for him and Haason Reddick in Nolan Smith. But Slay retiring, a little bit surprising. Goes out on top. Luckily, we just drafted a stud freak corner that can be his replacement. Because as we celebrate our Super Bowl, we know there's some moving pieces. I don't want to say very lucky not to lose the X Factor on AJ Brown, because he did have 12 touchdowns, which is pretty good, but we're lucky. I definitely think we're lucky in that department. Huffin was hidden dev. He popped as star. Hedgecock was hidden dev. He popped as star. Dallas Goedert did lose his superstar dev, unfortunately, but his stats definitely didn't track as well as AJ Brown. On the defensive side, we've already gone and made the switch here. Nolan Smith is going to be here at defensive end. We have Nakobe Dean making the jump up to superstar. Johnson, just because he kind of didn't even really play, they gave him a dev trade, which is sure. But look at Joseph. First round pick, superstar corner, Darius Slay replacement. Bummers, we won the Super Bowl, so they poached our OC, and there is no offensive coordinator that has what we're looking for. That we're going to be able to get the throw power for Jalen Hurts. Kind of a bummer. I was kind of holding out hope that maybe Haason Reddick kicks us with, like, you know what? We won the Super Bowl. I'm going to come back. Still zero interest in re-signing, so best of luck, man. But I did re-sign. I'll sign Blankenship. I signed Rodrigo Blankenship back, and let's keep Jake Elliott here for the remainder of this rebuild. Jake the freaking snake, baby. And looking for the free agency again. I mean, with how our squad's built, it's actually probably preferable to not sign and just keep the talent in the building. But I'll tell you what. Much as I like to roast free agency, not having anyone, it'd be a great year to need a quarterback. So we had to sit and wait all the way to pick 32. In terms of where we need to go, we need linebackers. Very anti-Philadelphia Eagle. And I don't know what the board's going to look like, but I did my focus scouting here on linebacker. It wasn't my, national scout or anything crazy like that. I believe we went defensive end. And, of course, that did not yield the best results. We got a lot of 3-4 defensive ends. And all the good ones that were, unlocked by our scouting went real early. Went like top 15. So we are now trying to find some linebackers. And I did some scouting. We got good-looking linebackers. I don't know if they're going to have great ratings. We have Drew Anderson here. A pursuit, A tackle, B zone, B block shed. Athletically speaking, pretty good as well. Elite speed, elite acceleration, elite change of direction. But is the value there for us to draft him in the first round? We also scouted, one of the linebackers already gone. We scouted Wade Spitzer, who has A zone coverage, B tackle, and he too, for a combine, pretty good. But they're both third, fourth round projected guys. Like, I don't want to get that here right now. I feel like we now need to look elsewhere, and we are just at the mercy of the fact that they just keep throwing us ridiculous corners. I mean, both these guys. But look at this. Dorian Morris. A catching, A zone. Not the best combo, but still he's the fastest player. Dewey? What's our next pick? We still have a second round pick, so we can grab one of those linebackers in the second round. I'm intrigued by the double A yet here again. Our corner room is not... Oh, no. I mean, maybe still has good rating. Literally gone pick for pick in the second round, just seeing, because there's 2 linebackers we want. If one of them went, I would trade up, because I don't want to miss on both. But we are still... We might just have our pick of the bunch. As long as Houston Texans don't draft a linebacker here, they don't. I think we got to get that Anderson guy. I think he's the better of the 2. He's a little bit more of an athlete. A little bit more scouting done. Please have a dev trait. Let's go. There is your new Nakobe Dean partner. I mean, we drafted a superstar corner last year, late, so I'm not going to get too upset about it. He's still 76. That is really, really solid. Anderson, 75 with the hidden dev. Rest of the draft, he wasn't anything crazy. Our board wasn't the best. But I do now want to see, just out of curiosity, what's the other linebacker that we were kind of keying in on? The right outside linebacker, Spitzer, 71. So we made the right call. 75 versus a 71. Let's see what the dev trait was. Probably star. If it's superstar, I'll be kind of annoyed. But, oh, okay. All right. Would have been... I mean, if we didn't have Buda Baker, we would have drafted this guy. We would have had a superstar linebacker in the building. Also worth noting from this draft class, the Commanders got themselves a big-time quarterback, Jake Kopp. Man, Wyoming had the highest-rated player last year in the draft, the corner, and they have the highest-rated player this year in the draft. Shout out Josh Allen. That's what happens. You make the cover, you get some Wyoming love. And he is a superstar quarterback. Okay. Here they for the Philadelphia Eagles, this time defending our Super Bowl champion, our second ever offense, ready to run it back. Defense, a little bit of a change of the guard. No more Brandon Graham, no more Fletcher Cox, no more Darius Slay. So the leadership needs to get picked up by the Josh Sweats, the Kobe Deans, Buda Baker. That's a strong presence to have. Glad we made that trade. So got Bradbury. Joseph's going to step up now as our corner one. And hopefully, man, we get a pass rush going. 3 years in, still a non-existent pass rush for the Philadelphia Eagles, who only, if you're putting this in the realm of playbooks. Philly, last year in real life, ahead going into this Madden 24 game, had like the most sacks ever in like 30 years. Of course, that means their playbook wouldn't give them sacks. Makes complete sense. Midway point, year 3, another competitive NFC East with the Cowboys and Giants crushing it. Commanders, even though they got themselves a new franchise quarterback, struggling, which is always something that could potentially happen here. Look at the contracts. Very happy at this point, man, that we have not spent big in free agency. I knew coming in this rebuild I wasn't going to be getting your ridiculous option. Obviously, we're going to pick up the 5th-year option on both Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. Outside of that, though, we do need to throw around a little bit of money here. We will start first up with Lane Johnson. Wants 1-year contract. It's pretty much, yep, as long as you want to play, you will have a job here. We have Devonta Smith. We're probably going to need to hit him with a player-friendly deal to get this one over the line, which we do. Nakobe Dean has been incredible in this rebuild, up to a superstar dev, the leader that we want. We can only imagine and hope and dream that he's going to be as good as he is right now. We got Jordan Mailata. See if we can get him on a neutral deal. This might have to be our first rebuild where we restructure a contract, because, I mean, I'm prepared to lose Bradbury. Not prepared to lose Dallas Goedert, though. So we're going to have to wait and see with Dallas Goedert. As it stands right now, don't have the money, but we'll wait till the end of the year, and it might be our first time ever in Madden 24. We need to talk about restructuring some contracts, because I don't want Dallas Goedert, a.k.a. Philly Goedert, to lead the building. And we're just continuing to steamroll opponents, going to 11-1. We have a breakout linebacker scenario. Now, outside of Jalen Hurts hitting his breakout 1 week, we have this for Drew Anderson. We have not had great luck, so that's why I always want to just try to showcase this to show you that even though, yes, I may get an X Factor in training camp, the more traditional way of gaining dev traits has not been very fair, fun, reliable for all C4 here in Madden 24. I don't know about you guys. If you guys have been hitting on your breakout scenarios, if you're simming, we destroy the Chargers. 51-37. Now, not great when you need a defensive breakout because we just gave up 37 points. But Jalen Hurts, 5 touchdown performance. Well over 300 yards. Good God. But we also gave up a lot of yards to Justin Herbert, which might work out well because, you know, rushing yards, stuff like that. Maybe that plays into it. But we did get it. Drew Anderson, the rookie linebacker, gets the jump up to superstar. Awesome. We round out year 3 with a 33-7 victory over the LA Rams, going 15-2 with the #1 offense, a top 10 defense in the NFL. And, I mean, Jalen Hurts was just incredible. Absolutely incredible play. Actually, Drew Anderson, our rookie linebacker, they got the dev trait there. Awesome. Partner in crime. Double superstars in the middle right now. Nakobe Dean and Drew Anderson. We were bummed out because we passed on the other linebacker, which was superstar. But in the end, it all ends up fair and nice because we still get our superstar linebacker. It just had to take a little bit longer. And honestly, he earned his versus just getting one, which I'm a little more proud about. Look at this. Jalen Hurts finishes tied for touchdowns. God bless Dak, trying his best to remain relevant there. Devonta Smith, leading receiver in the NFL. He is in our slot. Full disclosure, just in case you're wondering, Devonta, he is our slot wide receiver, and they apparently eat. Jalen Hurts, 4,300 yards passing, 40 touchdowns to 1 pick. Let's go. That's not realistic. It gotta be a two-way street. Actually, I'm not gonna say it's not realistic because Jalen Hurts doesn't turn the ball over. I don't think Jalen Hurts is ever gonna be a 40 touchdown a year quarterback. But as long as Dak's right there with them, man, we're gonna embrace it. We're gonna embrace it. Jalen Hurts, my God, 41. I've seen a couple of these before though. These exist in the same. Usually it's like a Joe Burrow. I've seen Josh Allen do it. Right now in our Cardinals franchise, I think Patrick Mahomes is on 27 touchdowns, 1 pick. So he's on that. But insane sim year from Jalen Hurts. Also threw in 700 yards rushing, 8 touchdowns. So he's at 5,000 yards from scrimmage, 48 touchdowns, 1 turnover. 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns, DeAndre Swift. 1,500 yards, 12 tutties for Devontae. 11 and 13 for A.J. Brown. Quez, all these guys with decent numbers. We're not forgetting about Dallas Goedert. We'll look at contract restructures and all that stuff a little bit later. Nakobe Dean, 131 tackles, 3 TFLs, 2.5 sacks. 10.5 sacks from Josh Sweat, 9 sacks, 20 TFLs for Jalen Carter, 8 sacks for Nolan Smith. Sacks are picking up a little bit, which is good. At least it's trending in the right direction. Interceptions did fall off, though, which is kind of expected with the loss of Slay. The secondary, obviously we still got Budda Baker. We got Bradbury, some good guys back there, but there's no Slay. Jalen Hurts wins his 2nd MVP of the rebuild. He also gets Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Aiden Hutchinson. We have, for the rest of the awards, Jalen Hurts wins Quarterback of the Year. Ooh, Devonta Smith, the runner-up for wideout. Cam Jurgens, 3rd in lineman. Yeah, that's about it. Shout out Rasul Douglas, fan of the channel. Eagles great. Winning DB of the Year. But outstanding year from Jalen Hurts. That is how you follow up. So we've won MVP with Hurts. Then we won the Super Bowl year 2. Year 3, we won the MVP with Hurts. Hopefully, we can double it up. We can get a 2-4, 2-scoop. 2 scoops of that, please. And we start here in the divisional round against the 9-8 New York Giants, who have a outstanding running back in Saquon Barkley, 1,800 yards, 25 tutties. Top 10 offense, top 10 defense. But we got the MVP. We're 15-2. I actually think the Giants were one of the teams. We lost to the Giants and Bills this year. We just gotta run through the NFC East. Last year was Giants. This year it's Cowboys. Last year was Giants Cowboys. This year's Giants Cowboys. Dallas, terrible defense. Good offense, we know. Looking at the thing here, Dak's been playing well. CeeDee Lamb won Skill Position Player of the Year. We'll just toss him that award and make it up right there on the spot. You never want to lose to Dallas, but we have the MVPs. We have the Super Bowl. We'd make it sting a little less. Plus, it's year 3, which is the weird year. Or we just go kick the shit out of them and go to the Super Bowl in an all-Pennsylvania Super Bowl. 42-14. That should be what happens. Probably Dallas should have got more points, and that's where Haason Reddick. Wow, Haason Reddick went to the Colts, joined Shane Steichen. But here on our side, Josh Sweat, Defensive Player of the Week with 2 sacks. Jalen Hurts goes 351 yards passing, 4 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground, 5 incredible. Absolutely incredible, unstoppable monsters, Jalen Hurts. And the all-Pennsylvania Super Bowl has been set. The 15-2 Eagles, 10-7 Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers, good rushing offense. I mean, we just did a Steelers rebuild. Kenny Pickett can be, a 30-ish touchdown guy, but for the most part, it's the Najee Harris show. They do have George Pickens, who's good. They have a top 5 defense, led by TJ Watt. So we got to make sure he doesn't take it up. But again, another matchup where you're going to need to be a complete team. You're going to need the offense and defense to compete with this Eagles team. It won't even let me spend the upgrade for Jalen Hurts. That's how overpowered he is right now. It's like, yeah, he has an upgrade there. Don't worry about it. It's just, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's there. I put it back. I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers are complete enough. You got to have the offense. You got to be able to score points. You got to need more than 22 to beat us. But we have also seen from that Falcons matchup that we lost year 1, our defense could be prone to just letting the other team get 40 points. So hopefully that's not the case here. And let's stack these Super Bowls. Cool bird. Don't care. Here for the Super Bowl. I mean, maybe it's a sign. It's going to be the Eagles. Opening quarter here. Philly gets the ball after stopping the Steelers. We score a touchdown on our opening drive. Pittsburgh going down trying to equalize. They get a field goal. We are not going to be settling for field goals. So, see until we do. Right there. We're going to stack that with another field goal. Okay, we actually are settling for field goals here today. Shout out Jake Elliott. There's a reason why we re-signed Jake Elliott. There we go. We get the touchdown to go up 23. But, I mean, the tail of this tape was the Steelers' offense. They had a great defense, but I did not see an offense that any way, shape, or form was going to move the football on our defense. And it's another dominant Super Bowl performance from the Philadelphia Eagles. 23-10 in the all-Pennsylvania. And Jalen Hurts, you got 2 MVPs and 2 Super Bowls in today's video. We still have 2 years left. What do you expect? There's a reason why I wasn't going to do an Eagles rebuild early on, because they're not a rebuild team. This is the best team in Madden. But it also has been pretty awesome to see Jalen Hurts literally be unstoppable. But we're not going to gloat. We don't need another Super Bowl ceremony. We know what's going on. MVP? Oh, interesting call. I don't know if we're going to give it to Jalen Hurts here. Let's see. Who would we give the MVP to? Last Super Bowl, it was Devonta Smith. This Super Bowl, I'd say DeAndre Swift's leading it right now. Oh, I'd give it to Nolan Smith. Congratulations. 2.5 sacks for your Haason Reddick successor. I'm like flies, though, man. We have yet to go in offseason without losing someone important this year. Lane Johnson has retired, which I think the only good. We did draft his successor a couple years ago, so we're going to be able to plug and play a star dev tackle. It probably gives us enough money to, give Dallas Goedert a contract without having to restructure anything. So with the influx of $47 million, we're going to pick up the 5th-year option on both Jalen Carter and Super Bowl MVP Nolan Smith. We now have more than enough money to send in offer here to Dallas Goedert. We also have enough money. Who else was there? James Bradbury. I mean, I think we can get Jurgens. You know the saying, round your lineman into the ground. Get him for the remainder of the rebuild on 2 a year. He was the successor to Kelsey. He learned from Kelsey. He's an understudy for sure. Yeah, and I mean, Bradbury wouldn't be if Bradbury will take this 1-year deal, sure. All right, cool. He's good depth. And while we've been a little bit quiet in terms of free agent, another just not great drop of guys to sign. So we'll be quiet again. Keep our money for our own guys. Clock at pick 32. Who did the league let fall to us? I did scout this wide receiver, who I thought would be a lot better with all Bs. I was more so looking for competition for Quez, is what it is. I also scouted a center that looked really freaking good, and that is Owen. Don't even, we got Jurgens, but always keep things open here, and he looks very good. I might just have to go BPA there. We scouted defensive ends here yet again because it's just what we do here in Philadelphia, trying to correct a pass rush issue. Yeah, the problem of picking 32, huh? Gotta sift through the weeds. Now, I did scout a corner that looked really good, which is kind of just what happens. And with Bradbury getting up there in age, we have Cole Carroll here. B catching, B zone, A man, A press. Press man corner, 6'2", 205. They're not the best role of combine. He's the guy we get, though. He's the guy we got to get, man. Corners are, like, you almost need to, honestly. Like, from how many drafts I've seen already in Madden 24, like, when you can adjust the strength and weakness of a draft class, it might be worth just lowering down corner 1 every year, because they are just always, like, there's always 5, 6, 7 corners that are really, really good. Hey, look at our draft recap. Remember, our 2nd and 3rd round picks just put in Buda Baker there. That is who we got. But in the 1st round, Cole Carroll at 32, not shabby, landing a 76 hidden dev corner who is going to come in and compete with a really good secondary. Great competition there. There was a quarterback projected to go 1st overall. That was 4 A's that I do want to... Oh, that's actually... Okay. You can always learn. Best player's a safety there. But, and that's not Alshon. That's pretty much Alshon Jeffrey. Al Jeffrey going back to the Bears. But Swan was 4 A's. I see 4 A's and assume generational. And he would have had elite throw power. So good to know that, like, you can be duped. 4 A's, elite throw power. That's a guy we would end up drafting, like, in the Cardinals franchise. We're like, oh my God, this guy's going to be 87. And we end up getting, like, a wet fart of a guy that looks like he should be generational. What's the dev trait, though? I mean, if that dev trait's superstar, X Factor, I might have been living it. But if he's star dev, that means there is fool's gold at the quarterback position. At least he's a superstar. That's not something that's... I mean, I guess I didn't look at my dev traits. I saw something that was very, when I was going through my weekly training here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go take a look at who went up and down dev trait from last year into this season. On the offensive side, no one went up or down, which is pretty decent. Hedgecock here. Okay, we got an auto set. I see sometimes, much as you love having depth chart turned off and you can manually do it, sometimes it is slightly annoying, but it's better when I manually do it. So there we go. We got our Lane Johnson replacement. That is obviously the big change right now on the offense. Going from Lane, who was like 98 to a 77. We're gonna need a battle there. We're gonna need to grind a little bit. But on the defensive side, Anderson's an X factor. When did he get this? He got his superstar dev in season. He didn't get defensive rookie of the year. He got it for winning the Super Bowl. I assume. Right? Got 0 tackles in the Super Bowl. Give him the X factor. Blessed, man. We are very blessed here today. Was there any depth traits up or down? Bradbury losing his star, I suppose. We're going to bump Morris up the depth chart there a little bit. All right, ready to rock and roll here in year 4, looking for our 3rd Super Bowl. And also, 3rd MVP for Jalen Hurts. Midway point of year 4, and we're a juggernaut, so 7-0, undefeated. Let's look at our contracts. We've been very, very frugal on the open market so that for this entire rebuild, we can keep the squad together. Up first, we have A.J. Brown. We're going to give him a 4-year deal, not worry about it. We now have Jordan Davis. Want to get him locked in, we'll give him a 3-year deal, not worry about it. Now, the fallout is we're getting a little tight, and I could say, honestly, out of all these players, definitely want to keep the Canadian here in Sidney Brown. Not going to take a whole lot, and I imagine with whatever influx of cap we get at the end of the season, we can re-sign him. If not, I'm not going to do it just for the sake of doing it, because I do think even more so, if you're like trying to look at Madden cheese in Madden 24, like the dev traits you can get from training camp, I think that's fun. That's like one of the funnest things you could do in a franchise mode. I do think in a rebuild context, the cheesiest thing to do would be to restructure all your contracts going into year 5 because it's just over, and then just having an insane amount of money to go sign whoever you want to. I feel like, not saying I'm never going to do that, not saying I'm not good enough. There's going to be a time that we're probably staring down a year 5 Super Bowl bust where we're going to have to do that. But I feel like that is more cheesy, that is more annoying than, the dev traits in training games. Finish year 4, 15-2. Copy and paste where we were a year ago. Number 3 offense in the NFL. Number 2 defense in the NFL. We'll say Jalen Hurts not near the top of the passing leaders. Still really good, though. 3,900 yards, 35 touchdowns. Only 2 picks this year. One worse than a year ago. 12-10 there for DeAndre Swift. Jalen Hurts with 13 rushing touchdowns. I'm thinking we got our 3rd MVP here, fellas. No wide receiver over 1,000. A.J. Brown, 4 yards shy. Devonta still had a really nice year. Defensively, Nakobe Dean, tackle machine, also had 3 picks. 12.5 sacks for Nolan Smith. 9.5 Josh Sweat. 8.5 Jalen Carter. I'm loving these numbers. Loving them. DeMarcus Joseph, our Slay replacement, led the team with 4 interceptions. 3 there for Nakobe, 2 for Sidney Brown, who we still want to give him a new contract. Yearly awards MVP goes to Jalen Hurts, his 3rd of the rebuild. He's also Offensive Player of the Year. For the rest of the individual awards, quarterback goes to Jalen Hurts. Lineman goes to Philip Huffman. We drafted him. Let's go. God, we drafted is not like, if like a Lane Johnson or Kelsey or Mailata won that award. It's like, well, they're already really good and established. We drafted a guy that went on to win Lineman of the Year. That likely will be a superstar increase for him as we look to make it 3 Super Bowls in a row here in year 4 of our Madden 24 Philadelphia Eagles rebuild. Can Dallas finally get one over on us? That's kind of where we've owned Dallas in the playoffs. We know it's probably inevitable. They can't beat us. They just cannot beat us this video. Awesome. 42-35. Jalen Hurts, unstoppable. And right away, man, next round, we have the Rams. Okay. I got Aaron Donald. And is that enough? Nope. Going back to the Super Bowl, year 4, to make it 3. We got the Bills. Josh Allen, cover athlete and all. Yep. I'll tell you right now, he only threw 3 picks. So, arguably the best quarterback in the NFC. Arguably the best quarterback in the AFC right now. Because Mahomes is not in this playoffs anymore. Let's go do it. We're built for this. You know who's not built for this? The Bills. Haven't seen the Bills here. The Bills don't have that playoff pedigree right now. We've been in the trenches. We know what it takes. We know how our defense has been. Our defense has been outstanding. Our defense in both of our Super Bowls so far have been really the deciding factor. And here we go, as we literally watch them just give up a whole lot of points. Nothing but field goals for the Eagles offense in the first half. So maybe we'll have to give credit to Sean McDermott and the Bills defense. But we are turning it up here in the second half. 5-point lead in the 4th. The chance we get a touchdown here is probably over. 26-14. They turn the ball over. Josh Allen trying to play superhero ball. And the Eagles win another Super Bowl. This is the greatest video I've ever made. We still have one more year to go. And if we can get 4 Super Bowls in 5 years, that would be awesome. Jalen Hurts, stellar performance here today. Probably the MVP? Nope. We're going to give that to Jalen Carter. Congrats. Feel pretty good. This is the first year of this rebuild. We don't have someone retiring at the end of the season. And we have $30 million of available salary cap, which should ease the new contract for Sidney Brown. So we're going to pick up the 5th-year option on DeMarcus Joseph, who's been really solid. And we're going to overbase slightly to keep the Canadian Sidney Brown here on the Eagles. And we're still going to have enough, $23 million bucks. If there's someone good out there on the open market, we might need to bring him in. How would you say that? Top 3 players in free agency, 2 punters and a kicker. Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Now, we're gonna have a little bit of fun here. We do not pick till the 4th round. This is the year that we pretty much gave up for Budda Baker, which has worked out very well. But let's just see. Can we blind pick the last pick in the 4th round with the clock running and get a guy that's above a 70? That is going to be my challenge here. Ooh, what is that? What is your throw power, sir? Maybe. Usually you can get a lineman that can kind of save you here. Not seeing one. Maybe this guard, double Bs. We stayed scouting the defensive ends. It's not yielded much. So like a 370-pound nose tackle. Yep, okay. Always gonna check there. Oh, the corners. Usually corners are reliable. A press. I'm going to grab that quarterback just to know. Those are really good grades to have for, throw power aside. What does this guy look like? He might be 70. All right, for my latest little mini challenge, did I get a 70? Nope. No, I did not. I did not. Year 5 for the Philadelphia Eagles, which is shaping up to be the pace car for dominant rebuilds here in Madden 24. The offense is ready to run it back this year. The improvement is Huffman is now a superstar guard. So, he gets a couple abilities there, which should help. But, 99 Nate Brown, 99 Devonta, 99 multiple time. And that 3 is not just the skill points. It's the amount of times he's won MVP in this rebuild. Jalen Hurts has been incredible. He's been video game like. He very much has gone in the bubble of he's too overpowered. I think I can sit here and say Jalen Hurts probably shouldn't be this good. On the defense, we got Nolan Smith, I'm kind of surprised he hasn't got off that star dev yet, but he has been playing pretty well in the sim. Jordan Davis, 99, Jalen Carter, Dean and Anderson have made an elite linebacking duo. We have Sidney Brown, we have the great Budda Baker, had to make that trade. Maybe the corner room. A little less than stellar, but at least we have that guy. Our safety room was great, and we had that lockdown, shutdown outside corner, which can lead the room there. And I'm optimistic we're going to be able to finish this rebuild with 4 Super Bowls in 5 seasons. And at the end of year number 5, Dallas finally caught up, becomes second. What a competitive NFC East. Jordan Love season, apparently. Goddamn. Jalen Hurts. 3,600 yards, 34 touchdowns, 5 picks, which is up for him. He also chipped in another 700 yards, 7 tutties, 12 and 11 for DeAndre Swift. No 1,000-yard receiver. This is a little bit of a bummer. Got it with 13 touchdowns. Pretty cool. 128 tackles for Dean, over 100 for Anderson. 7.5 sacks for Sweat, 6 from Nolan Smith, 5.5 Jalen Carter. The sacks are dipping there just a little bit. Yearly awards MVP goes to, there you go, Dak finally. Wow, it's all Cowboys. Okay. The year to play spoiler. It's the year to play spoiler to end this one. The first year Philly looks a little shaky. This will still be the year we find a way to get it. At this point, I do want to look at the career stats of this team throughout this rebuild. So far, Jalen Hurts at 28,000 yards passing, 215 touchdowns, 37 picks, as well as 5,400. We'll round that up, 5,500 rushing yards, 76 rushing touchdowns, 3 MVPs. Maybe even 4, like he should have been in the conversation for the first year. Jalen Hurts has been a god. We got 7,600 yards, 86 touchdowns for DeAndre Swift. He did most of that with us. Receiving at 9,500 yards, 85 tutties for A.J. Brown, 8,000 yards, 66 touchdowns for Devonta Smith, 6,200 yards, 52 tutties for Dallas Goedert. On the defensive side, Budda Baker, who we traded for, so it's been great. Over 600 tackles for Nakobe Dean, 24 TFLs, 10 picks. Sidney Brown with 400. We got 64.5 sacks, Josh Sweat, 36 for Jalen Carter, 28.5 for Nolan Smith, 20 for Jordan Davis with 10 picks. Nakobe Dean, 8 for Sidney Brown. And you know what? Just in comparison, Sidney Brown, 8 picks, only 9 for Budda Baker. Not too far off the old pace car there. But definitely want to finish. And I do feel like 4 might not be beat. And if we can get early, like this is what, our 5th rebuild of Madden 24 with the pace car and beat my beloved Philadelphia Eagles. I always go to Man City. Fuck. Yep. I guess 3 Super Bowls in 5 years is pretty good. Pretty good. Yep. All right. Well, that will be our Madden 24 Philadelphia Eagles. We're a little anticlimactic, but 3 Super Bowls. My goal was 2. We got 3. We had a chance at 4. Jalen Hurts, he's a god. Everything else ticked the boxes, and I can finally appease the people who have been in my comments, been on social media, anytime I make anything. Where's the Eagles rebuild? Where's the Eagles rebuild? Here we go. It was easy. Didn't have to do a lot. Got some great roles. Ended up drafting, you know, almost a generational corner. We got a linebacker that developed into a monster right away. Jalen Carter, Nakobe Dean led the defense. Able to have a little fun here, make that big Budda Baker trade. And obviously on the offense, outside of the skill position spots, Jalen Hurts did the damn thing, man. This is a Jalen Hurts rebuild. Congratulations for being incredible, being amazing, being you. Thank you for the jersey. And that'll do it for me today, guys. Let me know in the comment section below what team you want to see rebuilt next. Maybe give us a little bit more of a challenge than the Philadelphia Eagles. If it is your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. I love you guys. The support has been incredible so far here in Madden 24. Let's keep it going, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Love you. Have a good one.